Good morning and welcome to your weekly dose of Capsule Machina. And today we are talking about the Toppo in its final form. We call it the final form. We'll call it final form for now. Quick run through, and then later on we're going to go to the local Porsche club's Cars and Coffee. So I'm gonna pop the hood and we'll take it from here. Letting the car warm up because it was a chilly night. First thing you will notice is my modified or finagled Blitz intake. Again, I just purchased the loop or measured up this and measured up what it would take to kind of connect it all. This was a 3-inch to a 45 mil, 64 mil, and making that loop. All this was bought on Amazon. 40 bucks ish. This is separate, modified the bracket here. It was broken, I fixed it. And got a breather, K&N breather for the crankcase. Things I've done with it, full maintenance. Haven't done the transmission fluid yet. Flushed the coolant. Did the front struts. See my nice new OEM caps there. Oil change, obviously. New water pump, new accessory belt, new timing belt, tensioner. All that's good to go. Cleaned the throttle body. Fluids all changed out. Pretty straightforward with this. LED headlights and parking light. Kept the stock turn signals. Added a little bit more Freon to it, so now it blows even colder. I did buy an exhaust for it, and I have it over here by my side, but to me it's just really obnoxious, so I put the stock one back on. It does rattle here, and it's really from just this tip. I put the Advan ARS wheels on with 14x6. They do poke out a bit, so when I did have it lowered, at least the rears, with the RSR lowering springs, it did make contact. I did roll these fenders, so I might experiment later. There's the ride height with the new front struts. What else? Rear strut bar, which doesn't make it very convenient for people, adults, to sit back here. My kids are small, so their heads don't even come up that high, so it's okay for now. Had some co-workers in the car yesterday, and I had to make sure to tell them, hey, don't lean your head back, otherwise you'll have a nasty surprise. Experimenting with this cup holder, it works, but I'm not sold on it. Broadway mirror, LED, Apple CarPlay, Amazon Prime deal here, ETC reader, which I hooked up down there. This sunglasses holder, which is awesome. You gotta get that. Mitsubishi. Camera, dash cam, Mitsubishi ETC reader. What else can I tell you? I did the rear struts or shocks. Obviously you see the livery, which I put on. Need to redo this side, but all in all still good. It's plumbed up for the reverse camera. If I ever want to go that route, I still have the reverse camera, but I did hook it all up so I didn't have to worry about it later. Yeah, that's replace that, because you know when they come from Japan, they're gone. That's, I mean, pretty much it. Feels like a lot more when I was doing it, you know. I think it was just because it was drawn out, waiting for parts and such. Have all the stock parts that came with it still. I'm not getting rid of those. Have it in a container or bin. Things I might want to do is I did buy that Momo steering wheel, so I want to replace that. And still need to get alignment, and I still need to replace the tie rod ends. Since I found that one of them is bad, might as well do both. I'm gonna try and take a chance on some old Mirage tie rod ends, because you know, I was able to modify the rear struts for it, or rear shocks for it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if it's the same diameter. I got them from Amazon, so if they don't fit, I can just send it back. So that being said, oh, I added a third brake light, and it does have a flasher, so that's one thing. These things are, well, the K cars are so small. I live in Central California and everybody drives a big old truck. I wanted to be seen. So that being said, I'm gonna button it up. I'm gonna head over to that Cars and Coffee. I'm super early. I'm gonna be hanging out with the dudes with Corvettes. It's 7:30 in the morning. I don't have much time in the morning, so I kind of just wanna, or today, so I wanted to kind of check that out real quick. If there's nothing, then so be it. I'll hang out there for a little bit, drink my coffee, then take off. And then I can work on all the other things I need to do. Because the GX needs maintenance. This can use, I have to do the lower ball joints with this one. Stagia has a list of things. Delica has a list of things. So I'll cut to the Cars and Coffee. Hopefully there's some folks there. All right. I'm gonna give you a, I don't know, talk. I'm gonna call it vlog. As I'm driving this K car across town. Lately, you know, well, let's say this. I'm gonna start off with this. Before buying this, you know, I'll follow the guys on YouTube, you know, Ray, Nick, David, Mindy, Tiki Bunny or Tyler. And like, man, this is cool, you know, like I can resonate with a lot of those guys, because these are cars, well, obviously, right, they're JDM cars. And they're accessible and they're different, and it's something new, and it's not your mundane ordinary things. I mean, I've been around the import scene for a long time, you know, since the 90s. And I hope you can hear me over this intake. But you know, I've never been a Honda guy. I'd like to tell you that right off the bat. Always a Mitsubishi guy. Mitsubishi through and through. When I was in high school dreaming about my first car, it was the second gen Eclipse. And this is way before Fast and Furious, so don't get it twisted. And I wanted tri-spokes on it. Like, I thought that was the best thing, because in my mind, you got the Mitsubishi logo, which is the 3 diamonds. The tri-spokes just speaks to it. It kind of just makes sense to me. And I'm in one of my classes in high school drawing one out, you know, as best I could. I'm not like my little brother, who's very artistic that way. But, you know, just to kind of put it on paper, to see it in real life, this is what I want. I wanted the racing stripe over the hump of the hood, because I figured that was just like, that would just make sense, you know, that's the style back then, you know. But, you know, high schooler dreams, right? Come 2000, I think 2000 or 2001, I was able to get a 99 Mitsubishi Eclipse. It was like the 25th anniversary Eclipse. Had OZ Rally Racing wheels on it, and it was an automatic. It was GS, it wasn't even turbo, but it was mine. It was white, had leather interior, it was mine. And me, being a young guy, being dumb, you start doing things to it and trying to lower it, and didn't have the funds for what you needed to do to the funds to make it right. So you just throw slapping shit on. I think I tried to put Integra lowering springs on it. Obviously, it didn't work. And intake, and instead of buying an exhaust, I separated it from the cat, so he had a big old exhaust leak. It was just obnoxiously sounding, but I thought it was cool as shit back then. Things happened, and I ended up scratching the side real bad, so I painted a big old Z on it, because I'm still into Dragon Ball Z. So at that time, like, yeah, Dragon Ball Z is freaking sick. Spray painted it on, that was a big mistake. Long story short, the dealer I bought it from screwed up, and then I had to take it back, which kind of left me without a car for a little bit. So I was kind of stuck in a rut. And a buddy of mine was looking on, back then you had those little like brochures, what cars are for sale locally at these used car dealerships. And he saw this 3000 GT, and it was about, I think it was like 15,000. This is like early 2000s money, so a lot more than, what we're thinking nowadays. 17,000 was a lot. And still is today, don't get me wrong. I was like, man, that's cool. I doubt I'll ever get that, Stick shift, and it was a base model 3000 GT. A 1997 base model, which means it's a single overhead 3.0 liter front wheel drive, cloth interior. It was black with tan interior, and bone stock. Had tri-spokes, the 3000 GT tri-spokes, and a big loop wing in the rear. But it was like 3000 GT. I thought that was like way beyond my means. And I'm like still a young guy, maybe in my early 20s. Oh yeah, actually in my early 20s. And made it happen. And my mom was able to help me out and help me finance it, because I had enough for a down payment. And that started like the whole thing. I mean, I ended up getting a carbon fiber hood for it. I got some HP racing wheels on it. Looked like BBS with a deep dish. 18s, lowered it on TN springs. What else did I do to it? I gutted the interior because I thought that would make it faster. I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't want to give people rides. Again, didn't have the funds for it, so you made do what you had. But I was like that. I was the guy with the 3000 GT, and then you get all this stupid remarks like, "How much is that retail?" And I go, "You really know it's not even a VR4." But Mitsubishi isn't like the super popular brand until Fast and Furious came out, and then everybody wanted to eclipse all of a sudden. So things went south with that car. I mean, I just let it go to shit. To be real, enlisted in the Air Force, didn't have a car then. Little brother's always had awesome cars. He was working on his 3Z, he had his RX-7. So I was driving whatever car I could, But I was enlisted. I was in Texas for a while. And when I got back, I had a bonus. So I ended up buying a motorcycle at the time too, just to get from here to there, from like NorCal to Central California when I was training. And I would ride my motorcycle after a 12-hour shift, night shift, like a dummy. So back and forth. When I got home for a while and I was back in the Air National Guard, I had that $5,000 bonus. Picked up a VR4, 1992 3000 GT VR4. And this thing was a piece. The entire interior was painted blue. Yeah. Had the stock wheels on it, but they were polished, which was okay. They repainted it. It was like the slate gray, and they repainted it, did a crap job on it, so it was peeling. Second gear grinded like crazy. I guess that's a common issue with 3000 GTs when your gears will synchros would go bad. But I didn't care. It was $5,000. I didn't care how many miles were on it. And me and my buddy Chang, because he was going to school up north there, Wild Tech at the time, would help me out. We went to pick it up. It was in the Bay Area, like San Leandro, something around there. And sure as shit, it broke down on the way home on 101. And then miraculously the next day, because I had to get it towed to like a hotel or something, we spent the night there and I'm trying to figure it out. Bought a new battery, thinking it was a battery issue. Next day, sure enough, it started and we were able to make it home. What the hell? No, actually, I'm sorry, no. We got it started, but it would die again. And so we had to rent a U-Haul truck, and we freaking used his mom's Camry to push the 3000 GT up onto the car dolly or trailer so we can get it home. It was an adventure. Like, a story nonetheless. Got it home and started working on it. And I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's just me. I don't. My attention to these things at the time was just like I would go full tilt and just tire out, and then I'll let it sit for a while. Where my little brother is different. It's like he just keeps going, right? Just keeps doing it, whether it be a little bit. That's kind of why this year my mantra was like, hey, just do something, even though it's a little bit or little thing. But he would keep helping to try and fix the car, get it back on the road. And I would just sit there and just like defeated, And we eventually replaced some part, I forget what it was, and got it going again. And I started driving the hell out of it. And I had a pit road kit for it already that I ordered while I was in the military because I knew I was going to get another 3000 GT or a 3000 GT. So I had the pit road kit for it. We started putting that on. We had to modify the front and the headlights because they were, the first gen pop-ups. I was able to get the projector headlights, and we retrofitted with HIDs. And my little brother's the one that did mainly most of the work. I mean, I kind of placed everything where it needed to, but he was the body guy, and he welded the radiator support, the headlight pans. He did it all. Like he did everything, and I was just being a lazy shit. Even down to the paint. I mean, I sand things down, but he did a lot of the work, truth be told. And then that 3000 GT was, I mean, not to, brag or whatever, but best looking one in Central Valley for sure, because it was the only one that had a kit, and the way, it was decked out. I'll probably pop a picture of it on here. I had the 99 spoiler on it, that had the pit road kit, good stern wheels. I did TNs to lower it, Bilsteins, struts, stuff like that. So good looking car. And then I drove the hell out of it, and I didn't take care of it. Use crappy oil. My buddies would give me crap about that because I'm just using whatever oil to change it. And I spun a rod, and I kept driving it too, just slapping all crazy. And because I needed to go places, so I still would drive it. And then eventually, it just wouldn't go anymore. So we had a buddy of ours who, rest his soul, he passed away, from cancer. But he was able to say, hey, I can work on it, I can get this going for you. I'm like, cool. And that took about a year because he had to pour it. He had to just take everything out. He had a shop, take everything out, and he looked down. It scratched the hell out of the cylinder, so we had to pour it out. So we went bigger, and then we kind of upgraded as we went, and eventually got it back on the road again after a year. It was a long, drawn-out thing. Then comes oh man, I need to smog this thing, and it's not going to pass because my mind's like, oh man, I'm just going to upgrade while we're already in there, not thinking about smogging it. Stupid. So it wouldn't pass smog. So I had to, do the roundabout way and spend a hell of a lot more money than I wanted to get it smogged for 2 years. And that became a thing. Just what a headache, right? And I loved the car and all, but it was just one thing after another. And then the transmission, I said, well, I'm going to finally get this transmission replaced. So I went to a transmission shop. They ended up screwing me over. Not only the second gear still grind, but third gear started to grind. And then they went out of business. And they were supposed to be a reputable shop. So here I am with this 3000 GT that I dumped a bunch of money into, and it's just nonstop issues. And at that time, I just had my firstborn, right, my boy, and he was getting up to the age, but we couldn't put the car seat in the back, obviously, because there's just no room. So he's sitting up front with me, and we're like, hey, let's go. Well, hey, let's go to. I took him to a meet, and it was kind of hot. It was kind of in the morning, but it was getting warm. And that 3000 GT, it was running R12, and I didn't have AC, and he just was fussy, and he was a very good baby. So the fact that he was fussy, I knew he was not having a good time. And something right then and there, dad mode kicked in, and I said, I can't do this. This car, as much as I love it, and as many stories I went through with it, I can't do this. It's gonna sit in the garage, and it's not gonna go anywhere. So I ended up selling it to one of these 3000 GT enthusiast dudes who wanted to put together this 3000 GT group here in Central Valley, not knowing, because he's from LA, not knowing that we don't really have a big group here, and we're really not that type, you know. But hey, whatever, you want to try and do this, I'm not going to shit on your parade. He had an SL, which is the non-turbo 3000 GT, and he wanted the VR4. I'm like, sweet. I sold it to him for like $3,500. Yeah, like talk about stupid, right? But I sold it to him for $35, and I go, hey, this is what it is. It's not by no means a perfect vehicle. There's lots of things, and I'm very transparent when it comes to things like this. This is what I know about it, and you're buying yourself this car that's maybe 70% complete. But things went sour with that, because then he started hitting me up, and he's like, this thing's broken. My wife's scared. Blah, blah, blah. We tried to go for try to go out of town with him. Like, why would you do that? It's not an out of town vehicle. Like, you have to get it to 100% before you do. You know, I'm trying to talk to him. He's a younger guy at the time, younger than me at the time, and I was in my 30s by that time. And I'm like, dude, what are you thinking, man? This is not a daily driver. This is just a weekend car or whatever. So he kept hitting me up about like these little things. And I'm like, guy, I can't focus on you got to figure it out. Like, I'll be real with you, because I started the nursing program at the time, and I had a new baby, and a lot of things going on. I kind of was like, hey, I can't help you. I got a lot of things in my life, and you know, with nursing, my kid, and this and that. I'm just trying to keep doing my thing, trying to work on my career. And he took it the wrong way. He took it real sour, and it became bad. Just to say that. Like, it just became bad. And I was like, okay, we're going to have to cut ties, because I can't surround myself around this negativity. I need to focus on my nursing career field. So years going by, and, you know, something in my life's missing. Oh, not that my kids, I love my family, but it's that mental health aspect of it. As a male, as a man, I didn't have anything. So leaned in on, I started smoking again, then I quit, then I drank, and I quit. And like, it's like trying to find my purpose, dive deep into work. But nothing really stuck. Then I got my GX, and I was like, oh no, it's just a family car. And then me being who I am, I just started working on it, doing things to it, and I go, that's what it is. You know, I need to tinker for my mental sanity. And going back, because that was a long drawn out thing. If you were still watching this, cool. Going back, I mean, picking up these videos and watching, you know, Way Before the Fame, Mindy Imports, Tiki Bunny, you know, anything wheeled. Like, dude, these guys are like, if not, oh, I'm probably older, but they're about my age. Well, I'm older than Nick for sure. I'm in my 40s, you know, like, fuck. Pardon my French. I'm in my 40s, so I have more disposable income, I guess you could say. Um, so like, why not? And then my buddy, the one that helped me pick up the 3000 GT, we were looking for a minivan. He's like, why don't you just get, Japanese car? It's easy. Like, and found an RVR, but it's too small. And then he pointed out a Delica and kind of walked me through it more or less. You need to get this. You need to have a Montana LLC. If you're going to order this way, and you could talk with them, WhatsApp, yada yada. And ended up getting a Delica. I still have it. A diesel Delica. And I don't know how to work on Delicas or diesel engines or whatever, but we figured it out. And that thing, it's pretty solid. Then I'm like, man, I had his old S2000 because he wasn't going to work out. He just said, just get it running again. It's a shame. So fixed the S2000, and I go, you know what? I'm not a Honda guy. Like I said from the beginning, I'm not a Honda guy. If anything, I mean, Mitsubishi's were really where my heart is. But I was like, I want a station wagon. I want a stick shift station wagon. I want turbo. I want it to be like a dadmobile. Like, this is 2 years ago, okay? Not jumping on the bandwagon. Wagon. But it was up in the air. A Legnum VR4 or the Stagia. And I wanted stick shift, not the automatic. So I was doing more research, and yes, the Stagia has the RB25. The Legnum has the 6G 74, something like that, which was a 2.5, not a 3.0 like the 3000 GT. And I was looking for, my thing is like parts availability. Can I get it? How is there stuff out there for it? And by far, the Stagia has more support. So obviously I went with the Stagia, which I'm not complaining about. Stagia is an awesome car. And on the flip side, they're increasing in popularity. And I was able to get the RS4S, which is a stick shift, factory stick, turbo, all-wheel drive. So in hindsight, I really did make a good financial choice there, instead of going with the Legnum. Legnum was, to me, aesthetically more pleasing than the Stagia, because I'm not going to do a front swap on the Stagia. That, to me, it's like taking away from what it really is. So here I am with this Toppo now, because I was able to do well enough in work to get some type of bonus, and I used that bonus to buy this, and it's so easy to work on. Just working from the Delica to the Stagia and now this thing. The only flip side is, yes, I can find parts for it, but the way things are with the tariffs and all that, it's more pricier than it was before. So budgeting for that. Some of the things, and if this is a Toppo, so if I had like a Honda Acti or something more generic, say generic, more popular, then I think parts would be easier. But because it's a Toppo, don't find anything. If you're hearing that beep, it's the dash camera. This whole time I've been following like an old Impala and a Corvette, so I'm following these guys because it looks like they know where they're going. I'm assuming they're going to the Cars and Cops. Oh, they are. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna pull in here. I'm gonna stop the video. Do a quick walk around. Needless to say, the Toppo doesn't fit in. Oh. Got a flat tire. See a Civic over here. Should park back here. I might move my car back here. Sick Corvette. It's R33. What's the mule? It's actually the model I liked. Frying egg headlights, they say, I guess. Old school ones. I just left, and sorry, it was starting to pick up. I mean, there's more cars showing up, some import cars, well, Japanese cars. Um, but I got stuff to do. I got some adulting to do. So I'm gonna head home, continue on with all the other stuff I have to do around the house. I don't know, whenever I go to like these car meets and stuff, I feel like everyone wants to kind of show off their car, and that's cool. That's what it's kind of for, you know, your pride and joy. You want to show off your car, but it's not as easy to talk to somebody that you haven't met about their car unless you're kind of lingering around the car waiting for it to happen. And then in that case, you get those folks that just won't stop talking about their cars. Does that make any sense? And they know every little thing about it, like everything, the history, why that color is the way it is, why they chose that color, who was the first person to fart in the driver's seat, things like that. Like, whoa, okay. And that's passion right there. That's passion. And you're gonna get those folks any kind of car related function you're gonna go to. This is the Porsche Club, Cars and Coffee, so you got a lot of Porsches and they're a lot of older folks. I thought I was early, leaving the house at 7:20 or 7:30 and getting there a little before 8. And they're already there, like full tilt, like their third cup of coffee, you know. So I didn't feel as old. besides the R33 GTR, my car was the only other right-hand drive car there. I don't know, just different feel. It's not like I wanted to get likes and people talking to me about this car, because it happens enough as I'm driving. And truth be told, it's kind of, and I may have mentioned of this before, but I'm an introvert, so this takes energy. This takes energy for me to come out and just put myself out there and talk. Don't get me wrong, once I get talking, I can talk. That's what the military's taught me to do. Put yourself out there, be a leader, yada yada. Yeah, I have a feeling when I get home, I'm gonna sit down for a little bit and just sit there. But I want to say 100% of the people that were there didn't know what this car was until they read it on the back. 100%. Is that a good thing? I don't know. I don't know about that. It took me about 20 minutes to drive there because I'm taking regular streets. You can hear how well Fresno streets are maintained. Cars and coffee, I don't know. I think it'll be a lot more enjoyable if I was here with a group of buddies, you know? And we posted up like we used to do back in the days. Because by yourself kind of sucks. The kids didn't want to come because they thought it was going to be like the other car show where I was selling things. Even though I tried to explain to them it isn't. So, and I think even with them, I wouldn't have stayed as long either. I would have left about the same time. But at least I went. I actually washed the Toppo yesterday and dressed the wheels, and you know, I keep my cars relatively clean to begin with, but just did that. So I'm gonna head home and I'll end the video here. If you watched all the way through, cool, man, that's awesome. I think I spent 20 minutes of just rambling about my past and kind of giving you a glimpse of who I am as far as car culture. So thank you for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. If you stay this long, like it, subscribe, do all that kind of YouTube stuff. I'm not trying to get a million followers, but it'd be nice to break the 100. Thanks. Till the next time. Appreciate it.